The history of Tuvalu is a profound narrative of human adaptation, cultural continuity, colonial neglect, and global climate significance. Though Tuvalu consists of just 9 tiny coral atolls and reef islands, its past stretches across centuries of Polynesian migration and now intersects directly with one of the greatest challenges facing humanity: climate change. Early Polynesian settlement and origins, circa 1000 to 1300 CE, Tuvalu was settled relatively late in Pacific history by Polynesian voyagers, likely from Samoa and Tonga. Using advanced non-instrument navigation, stars, ocean swells, cloud patterns, and bird behavior, these settlers crossed vast ocean distances to reach Tuvalu's low-lying atolls. Archaeological and linguistic evidence confirms Tuvalu's deep Polynesian roots. Life on atolls required exceptional adaptation. With no rivers, mountains, or fertile soil, early Tuvaluans developed sustainable survival strategies centered on fishing, coconut palms, breadfruit, and pandanus. Fresh water was collected from rain and underground lenses. Communities were small, cooperative, and highly interdependent, making social harmony essential for survival. Traditional society and governance. Traditional Tuvaluan society was decentralized and communal. Unlike the large Polynesian kingdoms of Tonga or Hawaii, each island functioned largely independently, governed by councils of elders and chiefs whose authority was based on experience, genealogy, and consensus rather than coercion. Land was communally managed, and extended families formed the core of social organization. Oral tradition preserved genealogy, land boundaries, fishing rights, and history. Music, dance, and storytelling were not just cultural expressions, but tools for teaching survival knowledge and social values. Before Christianity, Tuvaluans practiced a belief system centered on ancestral spirits and nature deities, closely tied to land and sea. Rituals were linked to fishing, weather, and community well-being. Cultural practices emphasized humility, respect for elders, and collective responsibility, values that remain deeply ingrained in Tuvaluan identity. European contact began in the early 1800s with whalers and traders. While contact was less violent than in some Pacific regions, it brought disease, cultural disruption, and external control. One of the most traumatic experiences was blackbirding, the coercive recruitment of Pacific Islanders for plantation labor in Australia and Fiji. Though Tuvalu was less affected than Melanesia, the threat deeply unsettled island life. Christian missionaries arrived later in the 19th century, and Christianity spread rapidly. Unlike in some regions, Christianity was integrated into Tuvaluan culture rather than replacing it. Today, faith plays a central role in daily life and national identity. In 1892, Tuvalu, then called the Ellice Islands, became a British protectorate, later administered as part of the Gilbert and Ellice Islands colony. Colonial governance was minimal and underfunded. Tuvalu received little economic investment, infrastructure, or political attention due to its isolation and lack of exploitable resources. Despite neglect, colonial rule introduced Western education, Christianity-based schooling, and limited administrative systems. However, Tuvaluans largely maintained traditional governance and land systems alongside colonial structures. A major turning point came in the mid-20th century. Although administered together, Tuvaluans, Polynesian, and Gilbertese Micronesian had distinct languages, cultures, and identities. Political representation increasingly favored the Gilbert Islands, leading Tuvaluans to demand separation. In 1974, Tuvaluans voted overwhelmingly in a referendum to separate. This decision was peaceful and democratic, reflecting Tuvalu's strong tradition of consensus-based decision-making. In 1978, Tuvalu became an independent nation, adopting its traditional name meaning 8 islands standing together. The 9th island was uninhabited at the time. It became one of the smallest sovereign states in the world by land area and population. Tuvalu joined the Commonwealth and later the United Nations, gaining an international platform far larger than its physical size. Governance blended parliamentary democracy with traditional island leadership. Post-independence, Tuvalu faced extreme economic limitations. With no minerals, industry, or large-scale agriculture, it relied on foreign aid, remittances from overseas workers. Fishing licenses, the globally valuable atoll TV internet domain, which became a major revenue source. These creative strategies allowed Tuvalu to fund education, healthcare, and public services despite severe constraints. Tuvalu's greatest challenge emerged in the late 20th and 21st centuries. Climate change. Rising sea levels, coastal erosion, saltwater intrusion, and increasingly severe storms threaten housing, agriculture, and freshwater supplies. At its highest point, Tuvalu rises only a few meters above sea level. Tuvalu has become a global symbol of climate vulnerability. Its leaders have delivered powerful speeches at international climate forums, framing climate change not as a future threat, but a present reality. Discussions about migration, sovereignty, and even digital preservation of nationhood have placed Tuvalu at the center of global environmental ethics. Despite existential threats, Tuvalu remains culturally strong. Community life, faith, family networks, and traditional values continue to guide society. Tuvaluans see themselves not as victims, but as custodians of moral responsibility, reminding the world of the human cost of environmental neglect. The history of Tuvalu is not merely a national story, it is a global warning and moral testament. From ancient Polynesian navigators who mastered the ocean to a modern nation confronting rising seas, Tuvalu embodies resilience, dignity, and humanity's shared responsibility for the planet's future.